This is Dawn Paul. I'm your host. Thank you for watching The Break of Dawn. We've all seen the reality TV show Prison Wives Club that airs on Lifetime. But today I'm going to be talking to women who are married to men who are incarcerated. And I'm going to be getting their reality. All right, and we are now joined by Miss Jeannie Ogerman. When I say the term prison wife, are you offended by the term?
Not at all.
Not at all? Why not? Why not?
Because I am one.
Mm-hmm. Some women said, another wife said she's not a prison wife because she is married to her husband, not the system.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but for you, what does it mean?
For me, it means that I have accepted the situation and that I am embracing all of what our life pertains to today.
Okay. Now, how did you and your husband meet?
We met at church.
Okay. How long have you been married?
We've only been married for, well, a year and a half.
Really? So you're a newlywed?
Yes, I am.
Ah. So how did the incarceration?
So we actually had only been dating a month when charges were brought against him.
Okay.
He was already on parole.
Okay.
And so when you're already a felon, the system is a little bit different and things move a little bit quicker. Because we are Christians and he had turned his life around previously, we chose to forgive. And we chose to just go on forward and not really fight the battle.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was a long decision.
Okay. So he was on parole and then got charged with
a brand new charge.
What was it?
And it is a sexual-oriented charge.
Okay.
It was one person's word. No witnesses, no anything. But we understood that that person was hurting. And so for us, because it's also a family member that's close to us, it's a sensitive situation. However, we had to make a decision. Do we really believe that God forgives all? Not just us, but even others? And do we move forward in that, or do we stand and fight for our rights? And the answer is we're going to forgive, and we're going to walk in God's love and forgiveness.
How long is he in for?
He signed for 18 years.
For 18 years?
Yes, ma'am.
You say he is innocent. You have people watching who are saying, well, of course she's saying that.
Of course, yes.
Do you get that all the time? Do you get that question? Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
How do you deal with that?
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are where we believe that God wants us to be. And in the middle of our struggle, we are also reaching out and helping others. And that's what matters. And I agreed to marry him after he signed for his 18 years.
Wow.
Yes.
And you're how old?
I am going to be 47 this month.
Black don't crack. Because I thought I was talking to a little 21-year-old.
No, ma'am. My oldest son is 21.
Wow.
So, yes. I was a widow when we met.
Okay.
So, of course, there's always the naysayers. There's the people that said, oh, she was just in a weak, vulnerable position. And then there's others who know me and know that I've been a missionary. I was a minister before we met. So this was truly an embracing of the calling that I believe God has in my life. No, Texas does not.
Texas does not allow. I forgot the other way.
Wish they did, but you know.
Y'all need somebody needs to be on that. I'm surprised y'all are fighting for that, Miss Jeannie.
No, I want my husband home first.
Y'all should all band together. I'm surprised the conjugals was not, because I asked the other wife. I said, how do you deal with being a married woman?
I understand.
A hot. Woman, hot wife, you don't have that man to love on you. How do you deal with the...
You know what? There are intimacy in more ways than physical. Yeah. And I think for us, because spiritually we're on that level, it makes a huge difference. It doesn't mean that I don't wear whatever.
And don't want it.
Exactly. And we do write letters.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Now, you being a woman of God, it's always said, the man is the head of the household. Being that you are the breadwinner and that he is not in the household, do you still consider your husband
definitely
the head of the household?
Definitely.
How does that work?
So for us, my husband is actually in charge of the budget.
Okay.
So he knows exactly how much I make. He knows how much.
But hold on.
Yes.
Because you got some people saying, how is that if you're making the money?
Very
do you
easily.
get those questions?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
You get them even if their husband's out. So.
Yeah.
I truly believe in submission, the biblical way. Because my husband loves me unconditionally, I have no problem being fully open book with him.
But you have some women that say, he really can't tell me what to do.
Well, and that's the thing is about submission. Real submission, that's strength. Because it is willingly giving up your desires and placing him in somebody else's
despite
hands.
his situation.
That
of
is
being
correct.
In,
That's correct.
So you're saying basically submission. It doesn't matter if he's in prison, if he's not. I'm still submitting to my husband.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes,
Talk about
yes.
all for him. Because let me tell you at first, when you see it and knowing you're a prison wife, people would think it's all for him, the husband. But actually it's not. Talk
all
about
for
it. In the
him.
shirt.
Yes, so it's setting the
up and-
captives free. And then, can I turn around?
Yes, absolutely.
Let me go this way. So that way you can see the back. So, All for Him Ministries is actually the name that the Lord gave my husband for our ministry.
Okay.
We got married in February of 2013.
Okay.
That first month that he was in TDCJ, in the letters is like, honey, please check out and see if this name is available in the state of Texas for us to start our ministry.
Okay.
Because we knew this was on our heart prior to our marriage.
Is this kind of keeping you together? You know,
Not kind of, it is
but I
definitely
mean, is this, yeah.
God is our core.
Yeah, but I mean, this project, one of the things that really keeps you all just connected.
It is a dream come true
that helps
for me.
get you through. Yeah.
Yes, for me, it's a dream come true to actually be bonded with someone who has the same heart for God that I do, and the same heart for others that are hurting.
Yeah.
So yes.
Let's go back to he decided to just sign for the 18 years and not fight it. Why not fight it?
Because it's family involved.
So again, you just...
That's correct. And coming to that place of forgiveness completely.
That is a lot of forgiveness, because that family member, whatever the situation was, I don't know, you know, but I've got to fight for my innocence. That's my...
Understand.
Yeah.
And I understand because I was in your shoes at first, and it took me a while. He was the one wanting to forgive first, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
So his way of forgiveness is just signing and moving on. Yours is saying,
well, not just moving on. I mean, we're, of course, looking for reconciliation in the future, because family is family.
You are strong. You seem like a very strong woman.
I'm just a woman. I don't know why people say that.
But you have to be strong to be a prison wife. But do you ever have days? Have you ever had a time, Jeannie, where you were like, you know what? I'm throwing my hands up. I'm tired, and I'm
throwing my hands up. No, but do I have bad days?
Yeah.
Yes, I have bad days. Am I giving up? No, never.
Okay.
No, never. So,
because some say that the divorce rate is pretty high among prison wives, and what is, you know?
I'm his partner for life.
Okay.
I would not have said that I do if I didn't mean to see it through completely.
Yeah. Now, I want you to look at the camera
and
say whatever. No. It's your time. You say whatever you want to say. To whoever you want to say it to, if you those naysayers, whatever, Miss Jeannie. Look, whatever you want to say.
To encourage any prison wives that are out there that if you put God first as your center, then you can have abundant life in Christ. And if you would like to go to my Facebook page, Abundant Life Prison Wife, then you will get letters of encouragement and uplifting things to encourage you on your journey. I'm pretty boring.
No, you got a life. This ain't boring.
I'm just saying, I get up at 4:30. I'm pretty much down by 8:39.
No.
I'm a Monday through Friday kind of girl.
No partying tonight? Nothing?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So tomorrow I have a hot date.
Okay. Hot date. You going to the
yes,
visit?
I'm going to see my honey.
Okay.
I have not seen him since the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So, yes, I will be up at 4:30 in the morning. I'll be doing my hair, getting my clothes together, and I'll make
What are you
drive.
wearing? Something sexy? Something hot?
Well,
something...
he has asked for jeans and a nice little top.
Okay.
So, and I'll have on heels, of course.
Okay.
And, and
red? Something?
Oh,
leopard?
no,
something?
I'm actually probably blue. It's our favorite color.
Okay.
We like blues.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'll be looking something.
Look,
we have a hot date.
This was good. Miss Jeannie Algerman. She's good. We gotta go. She's got a hot date, y'all. Thank you. Okay, and now we are joined by Miss Lori Wilson, another prison wife. When I say prison wife, what is your opinion of that term?
I actually don't like that prison wife at all, because I'm Sonny Wade Wilson's wife, and I'm not a wife of that penitentiary. And I understand why some people want to say that, but I feel like it's an oppressive connotation by using that.
Okay.
So it doesn't bother me if you say prison wife, but I don't feel like I'm a prison wife.
Okay. Yeah. Now, how long have you been married?
A year and a half.
Now, what is Sonny in for? And for how long?
He's got a life sentence for aggravated sexual assault in 1994.
Okay.
And he's got another life sentence for something that happened inside in 2003, where a guard just got a scratch and he got a life sentence.
Wow.
Another one. So he's in there for a long time.
Okay. What is he originally in for, though?
He's in originally for an aggravated sexual assault. What had happened is that he had gone to a place called Taboo Tan that was a front for dancing, prostitution most likely, and the girl stole his money. And he had a empty pellet gun, just a pellet gun, and he told her to give his money back. She screamed. There happened to be police in the parking lot. And so with police in the parking lot, they came in immediately, and instead of her getting in trouble for stealing his money, she said he sexually assaulted her.
Wow.
But there was no evidence of that. There was no time.
There are people who are going to say, well, of course she's saying he's innocent because that's his wife.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, what I say to that, too, is I've had a lot of people look into his case. My brother's a police officer. I've had a lot of other lawyers look into his case, and he should never, ever have been convicted of that. In fact, I'm very close to his appellate attorney that did his appeal, but halfway through his appeal, she got a government job, had to leave, and the man that took over did a terrible job. And so Sonny's appeal didn't go through.
You know, there is, you know, in doing this and doing the research, there seems to be a lot of frustration about the justice system.
Yes.
A lot of things that the prison wives, the wives of those that are incarcerated, have to deal with.
Yes.
Talk about what has your experience been?
Well, I kind of came in it pretty naive. I'm a professional businesswoman. You know, I'm used to working with people. I'm used to getting things done. And so I assumed that if there was an issue that I'd make a phone call, I'd write a letter, and it would be taken care of. I didn't realize I'd be blatantly lied to. And,
How so?
For instance, my husband, 2 months ago, he was in a cell that didn't have a table or a stool in it. And so I went to the warden, and the warden sent somebody back, and they came back and said, oh yeah, he has a table and stool. And so the next day I called, and they had moved him, and I asked them why, and they told me they moved him because the cell he was in did not have a table and stool. That's just an example of a lie, but there's been very, very many of them. And they openly harass my husband. I had fallen walking into the prison in March. I broke my arm, but it was a fracture. And the next day, one of the captains walked in and told Sonny that I guess your wife won't be writing letters to senators anymore. With a broken arm. I mean, ridiculous, you know, because I'm not intimidated by them. I have education. I have political connections that I can use. I'm not afraid to talk to my lawmakers. And so they know that. And so they kind of hold me at arm's length, and they don't treat me with as much disdain. But at the same time, my husband is retaliated against because of what I do.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good thing, but then also on the other side, when you say retaliation, give me an example.
False cases against him. My husband had a seizure last Christmas, and they pepper sprayed him and put him into a strip cell for 3 days.
Now, what is that? For those that don't know, because I don't.
A strip cell is just a cell that has no running water, has nothing in it. And they pepper sprayed him because I saw him 2 days later, and he still had an orange-stained jumpsuit on from the military-grade gas that they sprayed on him. He takes medication every single day for a seizure disorder, and he had a seizure. And they used that time to pepper spray him and do a use of force because they said he wasn't listening to orders, and he had just had a seizure.
Wow. How old is Sonny?
Sonny will be 57 years old on December 26th.
Wow. And how old are you, if I can ask? 25?
26, 27. So I'm about to be 54.
Okay.
We were 2 years apart in school.
Okay. Now, see, I would think, and I'm, like I said, Miss Lori, some questions, you know, we get through email, you know, we tell them what show we're going to do and what are your questions. Some I want to know. How frustrating is it to be you? Because to me, and I'm just saying me, I don't think I'd have the strength to do it. But how exhausting is it being you every day, being a wife that cannot see her husband? for life, you know, for the rest of your life.
Well, I believe that those walls of Jericho are coming down. I believe God's preparing us for a big miracle. I've got things working, and I just believe that. But at the same time, I am just covered by the grace of God. I wake up in the morning and I can smell Him like He'd been there with me.
Is that what gets you through?
It does. It does. God. You know, it truly is, because I know that Sonny and I were meant to be together, that He put us together back in the 70s so we can come together now, because He was deep in the belly of the beast.
Wow.
No family, nothing. He hadn't had a visit in 10 years.
When I
found him, yes.
Now, again, you got people that are saying, here you were free, and you chose to be with a man that was incarcerated. Did you not think you could find love on the outside? You know, because that's what, you know, so how do you, you know, did you find love on the outside? Maybe it didn't work. Maybe, you know, I don't know, because love, some people find love. Oh, I met him at a party. Oh, I met him at a wedding. I met him at church. But you found love with a man who was incarcerated, even though you knew each other before.
He was my first. He was my first love. I just, you know, I've been married twice before. My last marriage was ended in 2006, and I've had relationships. They just have never worked out. I've never really felt that strong connection. It was a couple months into us seeing each other that Sonny just said he'd never married, and that he would love if I became his wife. And he said, but I understand that this just wouldn't work out. And I was like, I want to be your wife. Okay. You know, but he always wanted to protect me, you know, because he told me that if I was working around him, if I was with him, I was going to go through a lot of adversity. And he's right. Yeah. I have gone. There's a lot of judgment. I've got people in my life that are no longer in my life.
So talk about how you've lost friendships and relationships.
Well, it's just more judgmental.
Because really it's your life, so you got sick of the judgments.
Yes. I don't like that. And it's just like I put them away behind a boundary. I didn't like cut people off, because, you know, people are free to do whatever they want to do in regard to judgment. But I'm finding true satisfaction. I know I'm doing the right thing every day. I know that I'm doing the right thing. You know, I've never ever one time had that, did I really do this? You know, should I have done this? I've never felt that way. I've been in an abusive relationship. My ex-husband was alcoholic, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And I just know that I'm in the right place with Sonny.
What are assumptions people
that I'm crazy? I'm not crazy. I'm really not crazy. I'm really smart.
I think it's because it's not common. But is it? And I don't ever like to call people crazy. Whoever lives their life, live their life. And like I said, I wanted to do this show because I wanted to talk. I saw the reality TV show, but I wanted to get
nothing right about that.
The women's reality, the real reality, right? Not that other, you know, reality TV foolishness is added in, but it's not common, so we think it's crazy. I probably would never do it. I'm not going to lie, but you get a lot of judgments. I do, but I've also really had my sphere of people around me. I'm a member of the Texas Inmate and Family Association, TIFA, and so I've really found a big group of women there, and there's men in there too that have been a huge source of support, information. You know, just somebody that you can talk to. There's a lot of us out there. Okay. He's in for life. You're a vibrant, hot woman.
I am hot.
Hot, sexy. You can't have sex with your husband. That's the best part of being married. Well, how do you function? No, you know what I mean?
Do you know that the physical sexual act is one thing. My husband writes me love letters.
Okay, and that turns you on.
And he looks in my eyes and he tells me what he thinks, even if I don't like what he thinks. You know, we have a real communication that I think that people that are out in the free world don't have because of all the other things. Wow. But he is very brave. He is in solitary, so he's not in general population. He does get abused verbally by guards.
But not physically?
Not physically.
Okay.
Not physically, but verbally. He's been abused physically in the past. He's got the scars to show it.
Wow.
You know, he's got scars on him on his head where 2 years ago they smashed his face into the concrete and put a big gash over his eyebrow.
Was it retaliation, or was what just...
Who knows why they do what they do. I don't know exactly what that was, but that was before I realized, well, it was maybe 3 years ago now.
Okay.
But was before I came back into his life, a few months before.
Okay.
But I think they consider him a little bit of a hot potato right now because of me, because I will contact whoever I need to contact. I no longer work with the unit level people anymore. They just lie to me.
You go right over.
I go to the top executive offices of TDCJ. I've got all their emails. I've got their phone numbers. And I've talked to several of them directly. And I'm very nice. I'm very polite. You know,
but they know you by now, I would think.
One of the wardens at Stiles that had just left, no, one of them that is still there told me just about a month and a half ago, he goes, you know what? Every single employee that works here knows your name.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, he thought it was a bad thing. I looked at him and I said, good. You know?
You got some, you have hope that Sonny will get out?
Yes.
When? When do you think? How long have you been fighting this fight, though?
He and I have only been together since July 2012 is when I found him. November 2012 is when I wrote to him. January 2013 is the first time I saw him, and July 8th, 2013, which was the 36th anniversary of our first date, was when we got married. So it hasn't been a whole long time, but I truly have peace in my heart that he's going to get out. I really believe that he will, and nobody's going to understand. It's going to be beyond all understanding.